Alright, so I'm going to pretty much call it quits with the casting comparisons between the Tranx, the Revo Toro Beast, and the Okuma Komodo, and the Lexa HDs, 300s and 400s. First place is going to go to the Tranx 400. It just casts the easiest, the most consistently. The Lexa 400 HD was number 2. That level wind is just so far away from the spool, it's almost like it's casting a non-level wind reel. Then you got the Revo Toro Beast 51 or 50. Good distance, but you have to kind of play around with the braking. You can't use any centrifugal brakes on it to get any real distance. A couple guys say that you have to use centrifugal only. That's categorically false. That's just wrong information. You lose 20%, 15% distance just by turning on a centrifugal brake. The mags, put up at the max, you'll outcast the centrifugal brake setting to 1 on the Beast. Then comes up the Lexa 300 HD. Good caster, good fishing reel, nice and narrow. So if you're winching fish up, you're not focused on keeping the rod upright. It just comes in nice and easy since it's very compact and close to the center line of the reel. That's a big drawback of the Beast. It's very wide for its size. That kind of means you're fighting with it to keep it upright, or when you're winching, it's pulling the reel over. And it depends on what you're fishing for. If you're cranking big jigs and current, that's the last thing you want. Same thing with big musky baits. You don't want that reel to be turning over on you, because not only you're fatiguing this arm, you're fatiguing this arm and your wrist, because you're trying to keep that reel upright. So you got, for me, it was comfortable to claw it kind of like this, cradle it underneath, but you can't always do that, because when you're trying to pull in a big fish, you're now moving from your bicep instead of leaning back and reeling down. So that's why I think the Lexa 300 is a little bit better than the Beast 50 as a fishing reel, even though the Abu kind of casts further. And the Komodo, it's an awful caster. I couldn't come within 30% of the other reels in distance. I mean, that's pretty significant. I mean, I was lucky to hit 80 yards. I didn't even measure it, I didn't even walk it out, because I'd see the plug come down and I'm seeing 20 to 30 yards, 15 to 30 yards, I'd say maybe, before I even hit the yellow cones, which are 100 yards. So I'm hitting 65, 75, 85 yards tops on average. I was hoping to get a couple good casts in when I got down to the single brake setting, but even with the slight breeze at my back, I mean, it's only a couple miles an hour, I was getting blow-ups. And every single blow-up happened about 40 yards out. So, try to get some thumbing in, but even still, how narrow this spool is with this non-disengaging level wind. I mean, it's a pretty free-running level wind. I can use my finger on the level wind and get it going. That's pretty free spinning. I mean, to do that on an Abu, a lot of times you actually have to spend money and do upgrades. So it's a pretty free spinning level wind system, but it's so narrow. And when you have that transition on the level wind on the worm gear, it just slows it down so much. And I don't know if the backlashes come from like turbulence of the line coming off the reel, how it engages with the level wind, I don't know. But it's a very poor casting reel. But again, it's a little narrower than the Abu. It feels narrower when I'm retrieving it, when, under load. So I think it kind of fishes better, and it's got a clicker. Clickers are great. Now, initially, I really wanted that Tranx to have a nice adjustable clicker like a Trinidad does, but hey, they left it off. But with that drag, I can go from bait mode to setting the hook and fighting the fish in 2 pushes of the drag star on the Tranx. So I go from, live line into a bunker, kind of clicker strength of resistance, boom, setting the hook. So it's almost like a lever drag, if you want to look at it like that. So you almost don't even need the clicker anymore with the Tranx, unless you want to hear it go off. But I don't know. That being said, I think I'm done with these low-profile baitcasters. It was fun. It was very interesting to see that the archaically braked Tranx was the best caster out of the bunch. I didn't expect that. I really, really didn't expect that. I was half expecting the Lexa to come in first, with the Abu second, and Tranx third, but I guess I was proven wrong. For sure. And there's a bunch of idiots on the internet think I'm bashing the Abu Revo Toro Beast. Whatever. You know, I like Abu reels. I've had them for longer than I've owned Shimano reels. I'm just calling it like I see it. You guys can protect your $500, $400 Abu that you bought like it's your firstborn. But hey, I'm just calling it like I see it. I fished them all, spent time on all of them, and unlike some people that review tackle, I actually fished them and caught fish on them. So there you have it. I hope you guys enjoyed this. This was a fun series to do. Now moving on to the smaller stuff. Get some more stuff out there on the YouTube. Alright guys, thanks.